Right, Bronzy. How much you got in there? 10, 20 pounds. Bronzy. Hi, Roy. Have you got any cash on you? I'll pay you back, I promise.
Not today, I'm afraid, Simon. Shouldn't you be at work?
I'm on my lunch break. Bye, Bronzy.
Magnificent. I always wondered how you stand so still. Some kind of breathing technique, perhaps? Oh, forgive me. You're doing wonderfully. I notice you've not made much money today. Might I suggest a more prosperous route? Market Street is wonderful for tourists, and living statues go down a treat. Not to say you're not wanted around here, of course. No, quite the opposite, in fact. I am fascinated by the tableau vivant, the living picture. You know, the art form originated from an old prohibition on stage of nudity unless the performer stood still as a statue.
Is that £5 for me or what? I'm so sorry. It's been a very long day.
No, no. I've been a distraction to you. It is I who should be apologising. I shall leave you to it. If you're in tomorrow, get yourself down to my cafe, Roy's Rolls, over on Victoria Street. Never underestimate the power of a good lunch with good company. Forgot.
Are you following me?
No. Well, only to make sure that you're okay.
I'm fine. Forgot to check it.
I've been seeing you outside the Rovers. I live on the same street, you see. It's very impressive what you do.
I'm sorry. Where are my manners? Barry Bronze.
I'm Gail.
Thanks for helping out earlier. It's nice to know I've got a guardian angel out there.
It's nothing. Stop it. Oh, you just caught my eye though, really. It's a shame you also caught the eye of that thug.
That's alright. Comes with the territory. It's not like I've even made that much anyway.
Please don't take this the wrong way, but why don't you go somewhere a bit more crowded?
Is everyone talking about me?
Not as far as I'm aware.
Do you know Lewis Archer?
Why do you ask?
Just wondering. Heard someone mention his name.
I knew Louis Archer, yes.
And you?
He died 5 years ago. Sorry, it's just that he put my family through an awful lot. Well, that's the short of it anyway.
And what's the long of it?
You tell me your real name, and I'll tell you one day. None of this Barry Bronze nonsense.
The name's Barry Bronze, and I'm as real as they come.
Is that you?
You're not going to start blowing on my cheek again, are you? I know it was you that stole my money.
Is that so? So you can't prove it.
So
Something tells me the people around here wouldn't need much persuading.
Simon, I think it's time you were home.
Oh, we just got here. You know what I mean?
And he was doing just fine until you got here.
It's okay. I'll go.
If I may. Forgive me, Barry. I couldn't help but notice you visiting Weatherfield Cemetery this morning with a wreath of flowers. I'm ashamed to say that curiosity got the better of me, thinking that you were a stranger to these parts. On closer inspection, I noticed you had laid them at the resting place of a certain Louis Archer. May I ask who he was to you?
He was my father. I never met him, but about a month ago I overheard my mum mention his name and that he was here in Weatherfield. I was hoping he would be a better parent than she is.
I'm afraid he would have been a disappointment to you.
Well, that's funny, because I was afraid I would have been a disappointment to him.
You needn't have worried. Men like your father always think they're one of a kind, but sadly they're all too easy to find. It's people like you I find far rarer. He and Gail didn't get on, to put it rather lightly. And what with you spending so much time in her company, especially in seedy places like that snooker hall, it set my alarm bells ringing.
Hang on a minute. She followed me there. I just like playing pool. Besides, she's been nothing but kind to me. I'd never do anything to upset her.
Gail's mother was nothing but kind to your father. Yet he upset her time and time again. But if you say you never knew him, I believe you. I can't promise others will do the same, however.
Hang on. I didn't even know that he died until Gail told me.
Does she know who you are?
No.
And how did your father come up in conversation?
Well, I told her that I'd overheard someone mention his name.
And had you?
Well, yeah. My mum. Like I said.
White lies are still just lies, Barry. Your father told lots of them. If it's not your intention to inflict revenge on Miss Gale, what's your next move?
Probably go home.
Well, if that were truly an option, you'd have already taken it. Winter is on its way. I cannot have you outside in the cold. There's an opening here, if you want it.
Is that so you can keep an eye on me?
Well, that too.
You don't want me working here. I'd be awful. Never had a real job in my life.
Well, everyone's got to start somewhere. I gather you've got some great customer service skills. Cash handling and patience come to mind.
What were you doing at the cemetery?
Visiting my late wife, Haley.
I'm sorry. She must have been some woman.
One of a kind.
When can I start?